Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show on the YouTubes. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday hosts, Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry DeMantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Terry?
I am all right. I had a triumph last night. I managed to fix my Xbox 360 emulator. It was giving me grief. I scoured the internet, I found a solution, and now it works, and I'm happy.
Nice.
Sweet. What was wrong?
It was really weird. So when you start up a game, it says you won't be able to save because you're not logged into a profile.
Mm-hmm.
But like the emulator doesn't give you the option of logging into one.
Right.
So it's like, okay, how am I going to fix this? So scour the internet. It turns out the problem is in the config file, it says the input to any, which means the keyboard was considered input number one, like player one's controller.
Mm-hmm.
And player one is the only one that has a profile set up. So if you go into the config file, you can change it from all to the one that actually matches your controller.
Mm-hmm.
And then it won't detect the keyboard anymore. It'll detect your controller as player one, and then you can save. It's like,
Oh, very nice.
I would never have figured that out, like, without scouring the internet for, like, what the hell is going on. Like, that is not where my mind would have gone. Like, I wouldn't have gone, I can't say, let's check my input device settings.
Yeah. How you doing, Jen?
Oh, I'm good. I went and made the mistake of sharing our stream, which isn't a mistake. It's just I do it on Twitter, and that's the part that's the mistake.
Why?
I will someday start calling it X. It's just the minute you go on, it's like, why did I click on something stupid? Why did I look? Why did I even look? Why did I bother? I don't know.
Twitter is what you... I tell people this all the time. Twitter is what you make of it. It's only going to show you the shit that you want to get involved with, so...
Yeah.
I got to follow more cat people. I know.
There you go. That's the answer. Just watch a lot of cats, and it'll show you more cats. That's how it works.
Yeah, no, it does.
That's the reason why I got to stop engaging with these feminists, because now I get on Twitter and it's just one crazy lunatic feminist after another. It's like, God damn, people leave me alone.
I mean, all the algorithm does is, do you engage with this kind of content? It doesn't care if you like it, if you're angry at it.
Right.
If they see you yell at feminists a lot, they'll be like, well, let's give you more feminists to yell at.
It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, make your life miserable.
Yeah.
No, it's supposed to give you the content that you like engaging with. So if you like shouting at feminists, it's like, okay, here's 20 more feminists to shout at. But if you like going, oh, look at the cute kitty, it'll give you more kitties to go, oh, isn't that cute over?
That's what I got to do. I got to spend more time with the kitties.
Yep.
It's kind of fun giving feminists a lot of shit, though.
It is.
Every day I pick one and I just let them have it.
It's once a week. There'll be somebody trying to convince me that a man can have a period, and I'm like, I wish you would. I wish you would.
Here, take mine. You have it. I don't want it.
My poor brother heard that. He's like, oh, good God.
From what I hear, when you stop having them, it's not fun either. That's a pretty rough period as well.
Yeah, menopause.
It's rough for everybody, not just the woman, because trust me, everybody else notices.
Yeah, especially the boyfriend. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you yelling at me?
There's certain times in a woman's life where, like, when she becomes like a little bit more psychotic than normal, it's almost it's kind of why it's in law almost. It is almost offensive, but yes, there are times where, like, when she's emotional from a hot flash, if she hits you with something, they're like, well, she was kind of out of her mind, so it's not fair, but it's kind of true. That's why I'm just like, if you know that she's having hot flashes, just avoid her for a little bit. She will calm down and either take something for it or figure it out, but, like, yeah. Because I don't think that's fair.
You could just do what I do and just, like, don't date women or anyone. And it's like...
you have to clarify that. When you say don't date women, it's like, what do you mean by that?
Anyone. Yeah. I realized how it sounded.
What are you trying to tell us?
No, but I don't date anyone, and therefore I don't have to deal with women.
Yeah. I gotta admit though, like every time I get on Twitter and like I just get up in the morning and I start looking at the feeds and answering all the things that have happened while I was asleep, the first thing I start doing is looking for somebody with some. It has to be one of the three big things that bother me. It has to be feminism, gun rights, or abortion. Mm-hmm. If I'm going through my feed and I see one of them, like got one, and then I just go. I can't help it. It's just like my day isn't complete until I've gotten into an argument of one of those three things, because I want to have a really solid argument against those. And the more you engage with people, they'll try to find a way to win the argument. And you learn how to, you get so many people telling you different things that eventually you've heard everything and you've been able to counter everything, which makes your argument stronger than everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's why I do it, because, people say, well, it's not a person. Irrelevant. It has nothing to do with whether they're a person or not. Well, what about the heartbeat? Also irrelevant. That doesn't matter. And the same thing with gun rights. There's this dichotomy with gun rights where the gun is the issue. Unless you're Kyle Rittenhouse, then suddenly it's the guy who's the issue because he's a white guy.
Yeah.
That hypocrisy. I love pointing that shit out. I love pointing out, oh, it's the gun's fault, so you blame the gun, not Kyle Rittenhouse. And the person who I'm arguing with saying is like, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that everybody who's on the left thinks it's Kyle, not the gun, which is against exactly what they think of guns. So it's a great gotcha kind of moment. So I love engaging on those three topics because I want to be solid in my arguments when I run into somebody. So the more I engage, the better I get at the argument.
Well, the truth is when it comes to some of these people, the only thing they care about is that you're not voting on the right side. It doesn't actually matter what the argument is. It takes a bit of arguing with them to really get to that point. Like you could make the idiot clause where, you're arguing with an idiot because you're not willing to hear any other side of the argument. But with these folks, I've been watching a little bit of the social justice guy, Matt, and he covers some of the leftist side, and most of what they do is degrade our intelligence. If we're voting for the opposite side, it's all about our intelligence and our education and our line of thinking, because we're all magically brainwashed at the same time, even though Terry's living in Australia and you're in America and I'm from Canada, and I can't vote for American politics. I wouldn't anyway, because I don't really understand them entirely. There's a lot to your country. Same with mine, same with Terry's. So this idea that they think that we don't have any thoughts of our own, or we haven't read books of our own, or we haven't read articles of our own, or haven't seen videos of our own, and we haven't come to our own conclusions. No, we're all just magically brainwashed. And you see that when you're arguing with people on Twitter. Like, there's a certain point where you realize that it's not about what you're arguing about. They already don't care about your side of it. They don't think that you're able to argue it out. So when you're doing what you do on Twitter, it's actually amazing because you catch them out in their own lies.
Of course.
Yeah. Because you've been doing
that's the best part.
Yeah. Like it's the same with, like, that's why I prefer watching Monkey do it sometimes, because
he's brutal though.
But he's been engaging with them since Twitter pretty much, because he likes the drama. But, they will make lies to make up for the shit that they were lying about before, because it's not about the argument. It's not about your education. It's not about what you know versus what they know, because their education is magically better than yours because of who they vote for.
I've known Monkey for what's going on like 7 years now. We've known each other, and he's good at the argument. But he doesn't just leave it at the argument. He always has to get a line in. Like, he had an argument with somebody today I was watching. And he said something about them. And then after he made the point, there was a space. And their last line was something along the lines of, you seem like the kind of person who would have herpes. I was like, where did that come from? And it made me laugh. It was completely inappropriate and unnecessary, but I laughed. Because it was funny.
I might have
herpes.
I might have done that to a guy too, and I don't know that I got that from Monkey, but sometimes I'll repeat stuff that I did on Twitter to Monkey because I'm like, well, if he's proud of me, then I did a good job.
Yeah.
But I told
he's
the
much
lefty-
more brutal than I am. I never do that stuff. I never go after a person unless they come after me. And usually if they come after me, I'll say, oh, I see. You wanted to start a fight. I thought we're going to have a discussion. Sorry, but I'm muting you. Bye. That's usually how I deal with people like that. But he doesn't pull any punches. He just really max this shit at people. It's admirable, really, that he always seems to have a zinger ready to go. Every time it's something different, and it's just like
spontaneous. Half of them are just made up on the spot,
and it fits perfectly, and it usually ends the conversation. Somebody blocks, when you get that kind of abuse, that's a block. I try to avoid the blocks. I want to keep talking to people. The longer you can frustrate them, the more enjoyment I get out of that. So I got into a thing with a girl about abortion today. She's saying, I was pro-choice. I said, well, you did have a choice. You had a choice of whether to have sex or not. There's your choice. That's not the choice I'm talking about. And I was like, I know it's not the choice I'm talking about.
Well, it's the way that the left kind of works, where I last got into an argument with somebody, and it was a guy from the left who was like, all the conservatives are homophobic. And I was like, why? Because I don't want some dude in a dress walking into a change room with 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
And it was like, and his only argument was because I was a middle-aged woman. And I was like, bitch, who do you think votes for your side?
We need more people like you, Jen. We do.
And I was the solution. All you do is, instead of abortion, you say abortion A. Then people will realize it's Canadian healthcare, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah."
Well, I couldn't help but return with something absolutely immature and something that I figured came from listening to Monkey too much. But I was like, "You're just jealous because your side boob is because you're fat,"
Yikes. God, you guys are awful. I love it. Yeah.
I had the worst conversation with my brother the next day because, like, okay, so listen, women, and I don't doubt the odd dude gets the odd pervert online asking for photos that are really inappropriate. So, like many a girl, I have a list of bird shots. They're usually known as tits or boobies. They're birds. And I looked at my brother, I was like, if somebody's really, really nasty, can I just borrow your side boob? And he looked at me, he was like, no.
Beaverdam says in chat, I'm mostly pro-life.
Yeah,
I am staunchly pro-life. But there is some reason in there too. Like there's, in my opinion about pro-life is pretty, like my bio, pretty centrist as a pro-life person, but there are parts of my pro-life thing that everybody hates. So I try not to espouse too much, but I pull the Ben Shapiro out every time I get into an issue with people. I'll say, okay, I'll make you a deal. If you are raped or incest or you're going to die, then abortion is okay with me, but no other ones. If a woman will say, well, I agree with that, we're all good because you're pro-life then, but if she says, no, if I don't want to have, and it's like, okay, we're not going to find common ground.
My hot take is I don't think incest should be on that list. Like, rape is one thing, but if a brother and a sister decide to fuck each other, why do they get to have an abortion, but a regular, not disgusting couple doesn't get to have an abortion?
There's a couple of things with both the incest and the rape. There are certainly women, very brave and admirable women, who will have that baby anyway.
Yes.
Even though it's I hate to use the term rape baby, but that's what it is. It's a baby that was conceived through rape. My personal opinion about it is I'll offer that as a salve to calm people down. But when a rape occurs, it's an awful thing. I think that guy should be death penalty. I have no problem with death penalty. But there's 2 victims and a criminal. If you're going to punish anybody, punish the criminal.
Yeah.
That baby did nothing to anybody. I understand it's going to remind that woman of what happened. I understand that. And you have to be a very confident, brave woman to love that baby anyway. And that's, like I said, it's very admirable. But I will grant you some women just can't mentally handle that. You know, they're going to lose their mind. They're not going to treat that kid right. I'll make the compromise in that situation.
The other problem, and I'm just going to be real with you, women have nightmares about what CPS is. I think it's the same nightmares that men have, but like the things you see from CPS or children who say you can't keep the kid, you know, sometimes it is because of financial reasons that you're like, I don't want to kill you because I'm poor, but I can't keep you. And then you see who takes your kids, and you're hoping for an honest adoption with a normal family. And I'm not talking about gay versus straight. I mean just normal people, because you can have normal gay people adopting. I don't have that problem. It's when you realize that a lot of people are in fact right now using kids as tools, and they're absolutely torturing the shit out of them. And so women have nightmares about that kind of stuff. Like I get mad at them because it's like, you don't have to get pregnant in the first place. Sometimes it's about that. Like, I know there's some women who just, they use everything and it doesn't work. And honestly, I feel bad for them. Like that there is that exception to the rule where you're like, it should be safe but rare.
I draw a distinction between the moral and legal components. Like, if you want to say, morally speaking, it's okay for a rape victim to have an abortion, that you can have that discussion. But I have a problem with saying it's allowable if you've been raped, because then you're going to get so many fake rape accusations from people.
That's a possibility. Yep.
Well, it's not a possibility; it's guaranteed.
Well, likely.
You say the only way you can have an abortion is to claim you were raped. Guess what they're going to do?
They're all going to claim that they're raped, but you're going to have to come up with some kind of proof.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you are going to get so many rape accusations if people think that's the only way they're going to get that abortion.
Well, we do have DNA sampling and that kind of stuff, so we can say, okay, well, that's not even his, so I don't know why you're calling him the rapist. So there's some ways of making sure that there's some pushback about that. But you will see, you're absolutely right, that you will see a sudden influx. Because they still want the abortion. Now they have to fake that it was a rape to do it, assuming that women are going to be dishonest and everything. And I want to add on to your incest thing as well, is that it's clearly immoral, clearly disgusting.
Yeah, cool.
It makes me want to vomit. I always got to preference all this stuff. However, if it's the first time through, in other words, your DNA has been mixed with the rest of the world for a long time, suddenly a sister and a brother have sex and produce a child, there's very unlikely anything wrong with that child. It's only when you continually incestually do it over and over and over again that you get DNA sampling errors. Right. And you start getting people with all kinds of weird problems. You just look at the royals. How many times have the royals been, oh, you're a royal? Well, we can have kids. Oh, you're also royal? We can have kids. See, it's more common now that royals are having sex with commoners and marrying commoners. It didn't used to be like that. They were all incestuous people, so
I think JB might be misunderstanding, because he says rape is super hard to convict, but if there is a baby, well, then something happened. Yes, but it might have been something consensual, is the point.
Right.
Like, it could just be two people had a baby together, like, completely consensually, and then one of them, probably like the woman, since it's more likely to be her decision, says, I don't want to be a mother, I'm going to get an abortion. The only way I can get that abortion is to pretend I was raped. Sorry, boyfriend, you're going to jail. If that's the only option available to me, I'll take it.
I have to take a second. I have to take a break for a second, because I will be appearing on the Midnight Show with Tyr Alexander this week.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so I got to get the promo in there. Tyr's in chat, so I want to make sure you heard me say that.
It's kind of why I'm glad that they got rid of Roe v. Wade in the first place. Like, if some of
Smart
the states, like if some of the states want to keep the abortions, and you know what, we can have our ideological differences, and if some states want to ban it, I actually kind of agree with having places where you can have your differences of opinion, because the minute you let the government have that much control over anybody's body, and this is where I 100% disagree with the feminists, you are walking yourself into the worst kind of trap, because I'm gonna equate to China, because I'm sorry, but you can't say feminist and look at what they did to women in China and say that you want to talk about women's rights, because they were getting their parts removed.
Yeah.
If you were caught having more than one kid, you were having a hysterectomy, so you couldn't have any more.
Yeah.
You know, that's not one story, that's a lot of stories, you know, and there was a lot of heinous things they would do to the kids.
It's killing them now, because now they don't have anyone to replace the old people with.
Oh no, now they go to doors to door to tell you, well, you only have one kid, why don't you have 3?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like as if that's something easy to do.
I would laugh so hard if they said, you only have 1 kid, why don't you have 3? Well, some asshole took my wife's womb out of her body.
Yeah.
You know,
give me the womb back.
It's not just that. Like, there's no way to like afford more than 1 kid. You know, like they're like, oh, if you have multiple kids, your kids can afford you, and it's like, I can't afford them.
Yeah.
To get them to adulthood, I'd have to be able to afford that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking at these feminists, and I'm like, no, Roe v. Wade was a good idea, because, like, no, I don't think I should have control over somebody else's body. I can argue about the morality of your decisions, sure. I can even moralize, like, yeah, I can understand why some people wouldn't want to give birth right now, because the world does look like a really fucked up place. But
well, it's more expensive because of Biden, and there's more crime. But the great feminist Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself said that Roe v. Wade was badly done, and that it shouldn't have been a law of the land. So even someone who's on the left is saying this was a bad mistake, and she was right. It was a bad mistake. It used to be in the hands of the states, and due to penumbras, whatever the fuck that means, they made it federal, and that was a mistake. And for as much as people hate Trump or whatever, that was a good thing to do. Putting it back in the states. How many times? Let me just think back. And you guys don't know a lot about American history, but think back. How often, and this actually applies to both of you, how often has your government abdicated power?
Never.
Exactly. But here is Trump and SCOTUS saying, we no longer want this power. This power belongs with the states. We're going to abdicate power on this. The states will take care of it, because that's what should be done, and that's what always has been done in the past. We fucked up, and now we're going to correct it. And people got mad that the government was giving people more power.
More power.
Can you believe that shit?
I mean, yes. I saw it.
Yeah, American people, you can. Americans, we don't know what the fuck we want. But here, I've never seen the government do that before. They haven't given us gun rights. They haven't given us anything. But here they are. You can have your abortion in your own. If you don't like the state you're in, move to another state. You do whatever the fuck you want. You know, that's perfectly fine. I never really got a chance to say hello to everybody in chat. We got to probably catch up on that.
Yeah, I know. I got to screen up.
and also, we haven't gone over the topics for tonight, so we probably want to get on that. I got us onto abortion and stuff like that. That was my fault.
That was one of the topics, so we can consider that one marked off.
Excuse me. So why don't we start with Rumble chat?
Okay.
You want Jen to do Rumble, did you say?
I said let's start with Rumble chat. Who usually does Rumble chat?
Terry.
Oh, okay. I thought you said let's start with the Rumble, Jen.
Unless you guys want to, do you guys want to switch?
I always have both, so I don't mind switching. I just have to switch screens, but let me...
Yeah, I've got both open. I don't really care which one I'm reading. It's just...
Well, why don't you guys fight each other for it?
I mean, we talked to JB earlier, so we know we kind of by default said hello to him. But hello,
Rumble will be very, very quick. So.
All right. Well, somebody go.
All right. So on Rumble, we've got JB, and we've got Cynic, and I believe we've got Spittle and Cannibalistic Wizard. I think that's it. Oh, and Jack Gunsky.
Yeah, nobody cares about Jack. Go ahead and do YouTube, Jen.
Well, hi Hammer. Hi Green. Hi Keeverdam. Hi Spittlebuggy. She'll hear it later. I'm sure she'll listen to it. Hi Keeverdam. In spirit. Hi Spittlebuggy. Hi K-Shul. Hi Terry. Hi Rotten Corpse. Let me just go down a little bit because I know other people showed up. Hi Frosted. Hi Tear. Hi Tear. Hi Jack. Jack showed up. See? Could close down the show. Dang it. But at least he heard my my China rant. Hi JB. Hi Mr. Adam. And I think I got everybody. If I didn't, say hi.
There's Green Badger.
Yeah, I said hi to Green.
Frosted points out that Trump sucks at being a fascist.
Yeah,
no, he really
he is the worst authoritarian I've ever seen. All right, let me go over the topics real quick, and then we can get back into saying things on YouTube that we're not supposed to say. The first one is Riddhi. I don't know if you guys saw this video. Riddhi Patel is.
Yeah, I saw that. It was funny.
Yeah, what would you call her? I mean, it's a fact that she's a pro-Hamas supporter. And she threatened the council members with murder. Really, she said, "We're gonna come to your house."
Yeah, I know who this is now.
We're gonna come to your house and we're gonna kill you. I mean, she said it right into the microphone, and police got her and charged her with 18 felony counts. Her company that she was working for fired her immediately.
Understandable.
And she went to her initial bail was $1 million.
Yeah, they knocked it
today.
Knocked it to $500,000. Yeah.
Today they knocked it to $500,000, and she posted $500,000 bail. She's out, walking around.
That's crazy.
America, man, America.
Well,
so she's out walking around, but I don't think she's going to be able to duck and dodge 18 felony counts. I don't know what the actual number is for terroristic threats, but I bet you it's like 10 years per count. So she's looking at 180 years behind bars.
I just want to joke that she's proof that India does have redheads. They might not appear as redheads, but they exist.
Yeah, but she's not Indian. I mean,
no, she's American. I think she said in her speech that she had Indian history.
I thought she was Pakistani. She wasn't Indian because she's according to the profile on her, she's anti-Indian.
Let's be real, they're the same thing.
Well, that would be why she would have that. Yeah, if she's because like Pakistan and India used to be one country, and then things happened, and then now they're not.
Now they hate each other. So
yeah, so
if she's anti-Indian, I can't imagine that she's actually is Indian, or else she'd be anti herself.
You never know. I mean, there's plenty of Americans who are anti-American.
Yeah, white liberal women, but otherwise, generally no. But yeah, I guess that's possible. But I assume if you're anti-Indian, you probably are Pakistani, so because they don't like each other. That's my guess. And she looks.
Let's be honest; they're basically the same thing anyway.
They had the same skin tone.
There are other groups in India that are anti-Indian, but it's different politics if you go there. And I don't talk that necessarily because Jagmeet Singh is an example of that, and that will get me into big trouble. But
yeah.
It's also stuff that I don't really understand because, like a lot of things in the East, it's actually really old history. So, it's old battles, old blood. I don't understand it, because my history on some countries was like a month at best. Everything afterwards was like, oh, they did a documentary on TV. Oh, I read a book, I talked to people. It was good. I ate some food. It was yummy. I hope that and prayed that I didn't have poops afterwards. But Indian food's good.
I don't think I've ever actually had Indian food. I'm a very meat and potatoes guy in general, and so I've had some food that is international, mostly food that is part of my heritage, my personal heritage. So I've had a lot of Czech food, Polish food, that kind of deal. mostly because my mom was Polish, so she would make food from the homeland. So that's how I got into it. But and I've had like obviously Chinese and stuff like that. But generally, I'm a meat and potatoes guy, so I don't think I've ever had any Indian food ever. It's known to be spicy and stuff, and I hate spicy food. So,
Yeah.
Have you ever had a curry?
no,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because that's like usually the first basis of like an Indian dish is a curry.
Yeah, I mean, if someone says they haven't tried Indian food, I just assume they haven't tried curry because curry is like the thing I associate with India.
Oh yeah, it's the first dish I go to, but like sometimes people just associate a curry with like a stew because it's a kind of stew.
yeah. I'm
Like,
so
you know-
limited that not only have I just had Chinese food, but I've only had really one Chinese food is sweet and sour chickens or pork. If they don't have chicken or they're out of chicken or something like that, I'll have sweet and sour pork. But that's about it. Like the other noodle stuff, like General Tso's chicken and all those other ones, I've never had them.
Like Japan has a curry, but it's actually very different from like a curry. The only thing that's the same
There's
is
obviously a lot of Asian influence in Australian, like what's available. There's a lot of Asian food here.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be good actually. Like, no offense, but when it crosses so far across the ocean to get to Canada, a lot of the ingredients just aren't as good, and you can only grow so many things here. So when we get it, it's like, I bet you it'd be better if I had it somewhere where it was like a 3-hour trip instead of like a 16-hour trip, you know, or a 24-hour trip.
The
48-hour trip.
The music poll is out for everybody to vote on. Make sure you get your vote in quickly here. Tonight's band is In Excess. Not a lot of bands to pick from that start with the letter I.
True.
I'm not sure what we're going to do about tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week. Jay? What the hell starts with J? Janis Joplin. Okay. Kind of outside the time frame we're looking. That's kind of old.
I'll think of something.
Yeah, I know, I'm sure you come up with a bunch of stuff. I think I'd be in trouble if it wasn't for you picking bands.
Well,
but tonight's
it's easy to think of bands. It's hard to think of bands that fit what we
our limitations.
What we do.
Yeah.
Like I could say Judas Priest, but you obviously don't want.
That's
Judas
probably not going
Priest.
to work.
Johnny
Never.
Cash.
Country.
There you go.
You
John
could do
Denver?
Johnny Cash.
John Denver. Well, I mean,
Country. Sure.
John Bon Jovi.
We already
Jimi
had.
Hendrix?
Didn't we have? Oh, we didn't do B with John Bon Jovi. What did we do for B? What was B?
I can't even remember.
Music poll. Let's see.
or
we did Bon Jovi for B. You can't do Bon Jovi for J.
the Jackson 5 would be so.
There you
in the
go.
wrong-
Michael Jackson. No, just
Jackson
Michael
5. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be both of those. Oh, Michael Jackson. I got what, maybe 60 songs to pick from.
Yeah.
Well,
Michael Jackson is a great one.
I love Kid Michael Jackson. It's probably my favorite time for him. And I wasn't alive for any of that. Those are all reruns.
I'm just going to write down Michael Jackson for J because how can you pick anything else, right?
Yeah.
No, you could.
I mean, you could pick.
Joan Jett. There's another one.
You can pick Jackson Brown. There's plenty of things now you think about it, but none of them is going to beat Michael
Journey?
Jackson.
I
There's also-
cheated and I
Oh,
Googled it.
Journey fits better, doesn't it? It's more rock.
Yeah.
Maybe I should after we're done picking the music, maybe we should pick between Michael Jackson and Journey. Run another Journey. Run another poll and let the audience pick what our Joan
Double
Jett.
polls, guys.
Frosted, Joan Jett. Holy shit.
You know
I
what's a
said
good
Joan
night
Jett.
when you
I
Oh, did
must
you?
not have heard it.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know it's a good night when you get double polls.
Yeah, 2 polls tonight. So the question, the polls go 4. We'll put Michael Jackson, Journey, and Joan Jett. Were there any other ones that I missed? Any other good
Jethro
choices?
Tull. No, I don't think we want to do Jethro Tull.
No. I'm really not that big on flutes anyway. All right, so the poll's out. We'll go through this poll, and then we'll have a poll on next week's selection. And the options will be Michael Jackson, Journey, and Joan Jett, unless somebody come up with something else. There's one more opening because we can do a poll for 4 as the max number. But those are all great. Those are all great options. Why didn't I think of any of these?
How about that?
John Cougar Mellencamp.
There you go.
There are 4 songs where he's got like 6 hits. So
Yeah.
there are 4 songs. Do you want to do that? You want to do John Cougar Mellencamp?
Looks for me.
All right. That'll be our 4th one.
Green Badger says no Jane's Addiction fans. I only know one song by Jane's Addiction.
Would you please explain to them what the categories? We must not have made that clear.
Yeah.
How we're selecting these people.
Classic rock. Jane's Addiction is not a good fit in, even beyond the fact that I only know one song by them. It's the wrong genre.
It's classic rock, classic pop. So anything 70s, 80s, 90s kind of in there that fit in either classic rock, classic pop. Because you're trying to reach the biggest audience, and most people have more experience with general music, common popular music, than specific niches. Like we could do Nightwish for N, but how many people even know more than 1 or 2 of their songs, you know?
Oh, me, I do.
Yeah, this is true. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, this doesn't fit the theme of the show.
No, not at all. I mean, I do like Nightwish. They're a great band, but no, they don't fit the thing.
If it was conveniently on Halloween or something, I'd say go for it, because then it would fit, because it's weird and like kind of mysterious and not necessarily that spooky, but a little.
It's a little. They're a little gothic. I mean, they're. I don't know if you ever seen. First of all of their lead singers. They've had like 3 or 4 different lead singers. They've all been statuesque blonde knockouts, bombshells. But they're all wearing black leather, you know, and the band's mostly in like 1 or 2 of the people don't even wear shirts. They're just, you know, just guys without shirts wearing black leather pants. It's like, this is pretty hardcore stuff. And I don't know how much you know about them, but it's operatic death metal.
Symphonic metal.
Symphonic metal. Okay, there you go. Symphonic metal. But if you listen to her sing, she sounds like an opera singer.
Yeah.
And it's all long, sweeping, you know, notes and stuff like that. So
I believe what's her name? Taya? Is it?
I don't know who the current one is. There's, like I said, there's like
I think the current one is Floor Jansen, but the original one was like actually a trained opera singer.
Yes, she was, and you can tell because she was amazing.
Yeah.
She had a baby, and her marriage got more important to her than the band. She left the band because she got married.
I mean, you can't blame her for that.
No. But the first time I heard Nightwish, I don't know if I've told you this. I was typing in some stuff in YouTube, and somehow I saw on the right-hand side there was a line that said misheard lyrics. And I was like, misheard lyrics? I mean, lyrics for songs that somebody sang and somebody recorded or something like that. And I clicked on it, and it was a video of the song Wishmaster. Yeah, and the guy had made a YouTube video with words that were not the words in the song.
Of course,
they were intentionally misheard lyrics.
Yeah.
So I don't remember specifically what the lyrics are, but he made them all completely nonsensical. But if you listen to it, you're like, is he right or is he wrong? It was so close that you couldn't tell. It was a master, a dentist instead of apprentice.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff where it's just not a dentist. You know? And every line was just a little off, you know, along that line.
I have 2 favorite misheard lyrics. One is I like big butts and a can of limes. And the other one is you're going to have to face it, you're a dick with a glove.
Are those actual videos out there?
They're not videos. They're just what people claim they misheard the lyrics as.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think they want to do Michael Jackson. It wasn't about doing Michael Jackson. It was more about doing the Jackson 5. Because, like, I kind of think sticking to the J was more kind of.
Yeah, I think the Wishmaster one there was a line that says seventh seal is the word, and they changed it to Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
I think the rule is we can use first or surname for the letter. So the people saying that Michael Jackson is
begins with an M. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jackson starts with a J, so it's fine.
That's kind of why I was like, it might be better to take that into account because you could technically have two nights that are Michael
we've had that rule all along. There's no reason to change it just because people are being weird now.
Well, I mean, we have plenty of choices for M too, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably
Metallica.
Oh yeah, they're on the list.
Sure. Motorhead.
Motorhead. That's right, part do the show. Oh God. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a great night. Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't want to vote for Michael, don't vote for Michael. We have 4. I mean, if we got rid of Michael, we would just have 3. So why not?
Vote for the one you want. If you don't want Michael Jackson,
there's no hard feelings ever, you know. Like I just thought Michael was really cute when he was in the Michael Jackson 5. Well, it wasn't even Michael Jackson; it was the Jackson 5. You know,
right.
But
some of the best music is really the Jackson 5 anyway. I mean, Michael had his own solo career, but Jackson 5 were pretty fucking good too.
Yeah. But
they're a bit too disco-y for me. I think Michael Jackson's solo stuff was better.
Well, it's a different tune too. Like, you know, if you're going for more of a rock and roll theme, you're not wrong. Like they were a little bit more poppy and kids music, you know, like
yeah.
Well, kids friendly at least.
Let me what's the poll look like? Need You Tonight, of course, tied for first. Didn't I tell you in Rumble before the show?
Yeah.
This was going to happen. Sure enough. Whenever you get a band that has 4 songs that are all about the same popularity level, this is what happens. You get we're gonna have to run 3 polls, one to split the 2. Holy shit, it's the poll night. We're gonna run out of time before he gets. It's gonna get 20 minutes before the end of the show. We haven't gotten through any of the polls yet.
Well, the name of the Stream to Pogo polls.
well done on the poll timing tonight, Hammer. Great job. So what you need, which would have been my pick, it's just my pick. New Sensation coming 4th and 3rd. So it's between Need You Tonight and Devil Inside. If you have not picked, there's 15 votes. If you have not picked, please pick now. Please pick between the top 2 leading candidates.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's everyone voting?
Someone out there, please split the tie so that I don't want to run 3 votes tonight.
That'd be funny.
It'd be like a Johnny Hellcat stream running all these votes.
But no, I do like In Excess. So all 4 of them are good songs. I have no problem with any of them.
If here, let me see if I can poison the well a little bit. If I had to pick between the top 2, I would pick Need You Tonight.
That's what I voted for.
Yeah, I like Devil Inside. It's a good song, but it is a little repetitive and simplistic, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I like all 4. I've got no problem with any of them.
I'm just trying to poison the well. I'm trying to see if we can get.
Yeah. And Frosted says, why are the 2 best songs in last? Because you have the wrong opinions, Frosted. Clearly.
Yeah, I got to admit that what I like about What You Need is the bass line is just amazing. What a great bass line. I'm a sucker for a good bass line, even though I've never played bass. I'm very much a sucker for that. So, cynic gay.
I don't know if he's talking about himself or what.
No.
It's a very open-ended comment.
Hi, Cynic.
Maybe it's like me when I said I don't date women and very quickly had to clarify.
Like that, yeah.
Maybe
men either.
Maybe Cynic is going to have a follow-up comment explaining who or what is gay.
Tyr doesn't even know who the NXS is. It's 4 white guys, Tyr. I don't blame you.
It's one of Australia's better, more successful bands internationally.
Yeah.
I think AC/DC is probably the all-star best.
Oh yeah, that's the all-star band from Australia, absolutely. Well, I guess we only have excuse me, we only have 15 people, so there's no one to break the tie. So we're gonna have to run another one.
Oh, okay. Cynic meant Need You Tonight was the gay one.
Okay. Well, Cynic, if you just got here and the poll's open, pick between Need You Tonight and Devil Inside so you can split the tie.
Frosted says also, why'd you leave that Never Tear Us Apart? Well, mostly because there's only 4 spots.
Yeah, really.
I'm sure he would have liked to put all the good INXS songs, but
Rotten giving me shit.
Tears like, wow, racist much. I know white people music. Listen, Tear, I don't doubt that you know white people music. You know who I'm doubting right now? Beyonce. The shit she's been putting out lately, and I'm just like kind of snickering a little bit because I don't have a thing against people trying to cross streams. I don't mind people trying to push themselves, but I'm like, lady, have you ever actually listened to anybody?
Seneca already voted, so we're running. God damn it! All right, fine. Second poll. Need You Tonight. Devil Inside. You guys have to pick. I'm picking Need You Tonight. You could be on my side or you could be my enemy. It's up to you guys.
You're either with us or you're against us.
All right.
No, I actually had this conversation the other day because I was trying to describe bluegrass and doing badly because one of my British friends was trying to figure out the difference between bluegrass and country, and I was like, it's actually quite different, and it's kind of a tempo, and it's, you know, what you're dancing to, and, you know, song types are a little bit different between regions, and I just couldn't remember anybody because I'm like that. I remember songs, I remember like head bobbing to stuff, but I don't remember artists for shit. Especially if it's not something that I'm like.
Frosted says he only remembers Beyonce as the chick from Austin Powers 3. I have no memory of Austin Powers 3, so I'm assuming he's joking and there's a fat black woman in it. But yeah, I don't know what the joke is with that. I only remember the first Austin Powers movie.
You can put 2, right? You don't have to fill out all 4, right? Right. All right, so the 2 options are Need You Tonight and Devil Inside. So make your choices.
I like the very subtle influence you've attempted to.
I was going to be a lot more brutal, but I was like, not for the Wednesday show.
But I think it's funny because you're going to get just as many people voting for Devil Inside.
I know. It's going to be 33% again, or 50-50 in this case, because there's only 2. So.
Dear, I'm not knocking Beyonce for knocking out, for trying something different. I just, as I watch her go about it, I'm just like, I'm partially amused because I don't think she knows what she's doing yet. Like, she might figure something out. Sometimes crossing music is interesting, you know, like you were playing stuff earlier, Hammer, you know, like blending music.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
it can work, but you really kind of have to like think about what it is that you're doing when you go to do it. And I'm just not, because I'm not actually, I don't hate Beyonce because of her music. I actually just disagree with her politics. Like, if we don't talk about politics, it's fine, you know, because she's got music I've head-bobbed to.
It's all, this music industry, the movie industry, they're all leftists, so you're going to hate everybody.
You know, at what point do I have to like, well, you know, I like the odd song by her. Like, I like the odd song by her. So, like, I'm not going to knock her singing. It's just...
I don't like Beyonce. I mean, I know nothing about her except that I don't like her music.
No, it's not for everybody.
The poll is 50-50.
Of course it is. You know, you probably could have broken the tie if you didn't say correct and wrong, because you know,
people are voting for wrong just to spite me. I'm sure.
Yeah. But no, it's actually broken the tie. Devil Inside.
I don't know. Yeah, somebody just voted 11 votes.
Yeah. I say end the poll now before there's a...
No, I'll let it go. I'll let more people get in, but I'll wait until I'm about to end it, and then I'll vote for one or the other and then end it immediately. So I'll guarantee that I'm the tiebreaker.
Oh, there you go.
We can play that game. If you're gonna spite me, then fine.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
turnabout's fair play.
I'm gonna make Tear boo me just a little bit, but like as far as black singers, and I know she passed away and hadn't done anything for years, I kind of saw Tina Turner as being more of a queen bee to me than necessarily Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't like either of them, but at least I like Tina Turner's music a bit more.
Frosted.
What was there's a song out that it was a hip hop female singer that was doing a country song, Texas Hold'em or something like that. It's called. Have you heard about that? I don't remember who it was, but there was some uproar because it was a rap house hip hop artist who decided they were just going to do a country song out of nowhere. And it's like Nas X did. You remember Nas X did that song? That was a country song. And he's not a country artist. Well, now you got a woman doing it too. I don't know if it was Beyonce or Rihanna or I don't know. It was some gorgeous black chick.
I don't really understand the want to, but I don't have a problem with people doing it. It's art. You know, it's like cooking. It's like telling someone don't cook this because you've never cooked it or it's new to you or something. Because there is country and styles of country that, yeah, I would say came from a lot of Black communities. Like I said, bluegrass for a reason. Like that's blended music. You know, there's a lot of music that's culturally like it's North American, you know, like it's American. Take the color out of it. Take the color out of it.
Somebody voted and made it 50-50 again.
I told you they would. That's why I said end the poll. But if you've got the deciding vote, then you don't have to worry about
it. But like I don't want to knock on someone just because I don't agree with their politics. And I don't like all of Beyonce's music. Like I like some of her songs. Like I like some of it. There's a lot of people that I like some of their songs. And
I have never heard a good Beyonce song in my life.
It happens. Sometimes it's a remix, you know. I'm like, is that?
Yeah, I was about to say that. She did a song that was a remix that was really good. It was I think it was based on Tainted Love. It was like a remix of a decent song. That was actually pretty good. She kind of turned a twisted or Tainted Love. She turned it into like a hip hop song, and it was actually pretty good.
No. If she turns it into a hip hop song, it's automatically bad.
Let me see if I can find out.
I just I think it's sad when they call her Queen Bee though, and I'm not knocking her either, or even fans of her. I'm just saying there are other people in the Black community who have better voices. There just are. I've seen backup singers with better song capacity.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of Beyonce, I think of the lyrical masterpiece, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. And it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't for me.
RIH. Name starts with RIHA.
But, yeah. No.
Yeah, she did a song called SOS. It was a remix of Tainted Love. Yeah, I was right.
I'm probably going to jail now for that. I think someone overheard me and they're like, "Oh, geez, she just knocked Beyonce. You know, she's a super racist for saying other Black people were just as talented, if not more." So I'm probably going to jail.
Here in chat says the only way to classify music is what you love and what you don't love. There's no such thing as Black or white or Asian music. Music belongs to all of us. There absolutely is Asian music. Da 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 da. That's Asian.
Turning Japanese. That's what it sounded like you were singing. It looks like Need You Tonight made the list, so that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, there you go.
Yay!
Had nothing to do with it.
We settled on something.
All right, we got 5 minutes to do the other poll. So,
the J dance.
I'll just call it next week.
And Frosted says, when they say all the single ladies, it sounds like she's saying, I'm a cigarette. Well, if you mean cigarette as in the euphemism for the word I can't say on YouTube, yeah, I can believe that.
All right. Michael Jackson, Journey, Joan Jett.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
She's still hot. You don't want to do Mellencamp?
No. I was saying that John Cougar Mellencamp is the fourth one.
All right, here comes the next week's music vote, folks. Because if you're not sick of polls already, here's another one.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah, I like that one too.
Good old Carl Douglas.
I just call it
black music. Kung fu fighting is black music.
It is a black artist, yeah. I forget what his name is. Carl Douglas.
Carl Douglas.
I believe I have that song. Only Rihanna song I had was SOS. That's the only one. Oh yeah. While that's running, I should prep the song that we're going to play at the end of the show.
Everybody was Kung Fu Fighting. I unironically think that's a great song. I really like it.
Yeah, it's catchy. I mean, it obviously caught on.
You instantly start head bobbling.
Best thing you do now is pick one of the songs that lost. We'll pull and play that.
See, it's not that One Night in Bangkok isn't catchy. It's just that I know that song is about the red light district, and so I'm like, oh, it's funny and naughty and really catchy at the same time.
I don't pay too much attention to the lyrics unless I already like the tune. Then the lyrics can improve it. But if I don't like the tune, I don't care what the lyrics are.
All right.
Gansky in chat is oversharing about his sex life. You keep that to yourself, mister.
Murray Head was the name of the guy who sang One Night in Bangkok. However, there is a version by a female singer called Roby, R-O-B-E-Y. That's much more of a danceable version of it. I like that one a little bit better.
I only know the Murray Head version.
Yeah, that's all very. I have a mix of it with an Oingo Boingo song. But Roby's voice is very pretty, so that's why I like that one. It's a little dancier.
Oingo Boingo is such a funny name. I just hear that and I laugh.
College band, yeah. The lead, I can remember the name of the lead singer. I never can, but he's supposed to be a really talented guy.
He's the guy who did the Simpsons theme song.
Oh, really? Right? How it goes?
Something like that. It's been a long time since I've watched the Simpsons.
All right. So how's the poll going? Because we've got 3 minutes left.
Journey looks like it's won.
Journey is winning.
Yeah, I would stick to that.
Journey's first, Joan Jett is second, and then the other two are tied for third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I have no hard feelings about people not voting my way. I'm only like saying my honest thing. And I like all of the list.
What's the singer's name? Journey Steve something? The lead singer?
Which one's this?
The lead singer for Journey?
Oh, I don't know. I'll look it up.
Oh, you're faster than me.
He's got a great voice. Long.
There's a lot of bands where I don't know the names of any of the actual members.
Yeah. The band is more important than the notoriety of the people in it. Like everyone knows who David Lee Roth is, you know?
Yes.
Not particularly talented. However, he was a showman, so everyone knows what he is. Everyone knows his name.
Yeah. It looks like the band as of 2024 consists of guitarist vocalist Neil Schon, the last remaining original member. So that's
not the same guy.
Apparently.
Steve
Perry might be the
Steve Perry, that's it. That's it, Steve Perry. Journey with 11 votes, and I don't think anyone's going to change that.
That's okay. They got good songs too.
42% climbing the polls. All right, and then once everyone's done. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to go with Journey for next week. I'll just erase everything else I have listed here.
Frosted says Danny Elfman does music for Tim Burton that all sounds the same. That's also true.
Be paste.
Also, just because I'm a troll and I like to be a bit of a troll, Terry, what do we need to do to invest in a knife jacket for you?
What? A knife jacket?
I know you never leave your house, but I have this theory about people who never leave your houses, and it's because whenever you do, you see the worst of humanity, and it's why you're like, you know what, fuck all you, I'm going back home. And lately in your neck of the woods, it's been stabbings everywhere.
Oh, right, I'm with you, yeah. No, I do go outside if I need to, but it's something that I do try and avoid.
Like I said, because you see the worst of humanity every time you leave your house.
Oh, also because all my stuff is inside, so why would I go outside?
Well, we are at 10 o'clock because we spent the whole half of the show running polls. So let me go over the topics real quick so you guys can get out of here. The other two topics listed on the show for tonight were 1864 and attacked. 1864, you guys know the show notes, but the people who came to watch the show don't know what I'm talking about, so I want to explain it real quick. Arizona passed a law, actually it was already on the books, for a complete ban on abortion should Roe v. Wade ever die, which it did. So this 1864 law went into effect. It banned all abortion except for if the mother's life is in immediate danger. So that means no incest, no rape, none of that stuff. It's just if she's going to die. And then you can abort under no other circumstances. So they tried to repeal it. And the appeal failed. So as of today, it's still in place. They tried to defeat it once. I thought for sure it would go down. I thought for sure that the GOP wouldn't make such a stupid move as to leave that in place, because they have a 2022 bill that would take over if this 1864 was abolished. That's more palatable to the rest of the planet. And they should have done that, because now it's going to be a bone of contention. What you're going to see is Arizona possibly flipping to Biden because of this. And that's not good. Not like Arizona is a key state. But I mean, Pennsylvania is the key state this year. If everybody votes the way the polls say, then the only key state that Trump has to win is Pennsylvania. He gets Pennsylvania, he wins. End of story. It'll take him over 270. So
Just remember to vote twice. Once is theonetonhammer, once is the one-ton hammer.
There you go. And then my real name, I get 3 votes.
No, your real name is theonetonhammer.
You're right. The third option we have for tonight, called attacked, I thought was going to be what we're going to talk about the entire night. This is the attack of Iran directly on Israel, and the results of that, because it looks like Iran has done the attack. Israel said, we don't like this very much, and Iran says, well, do something about it. They're now taunting Israel to fight more. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but if Israel takes them up on it, that's a real problem. But we never got a chance to get to it. I thought we would spend the entire night talking about it.
It's funny the way things work out. Yeah.
So
we spent more time talking about abortion and music.
You see what Cannibalistic Wizard said on Rumble?
Yeah.
You were talking about Asian food. There you go. The wonton hammer.
Yes.
Rickety boom. Ba-dum.
Oh, I saw the one before it. I thought you were saying that 1864 was the year you were born.
Yeah. He keeps giving me shit because of my age. I am not the oldest person here. Oh, I am the oldest person here. It depends if
you're not the oldest person in the
It depends if Old Guy Gamer is in the chat. If Old Guy Gamer is in the chat, he's the oldest person here, because he's like 70. Okay. So he's 9 years older than me.
Whose idea was it to have a Middle East anyway?
I have very radical views on the Middle East. They're calling it a genocide, and I don't really believe that, because if Israel wanted a genocide, it would take them 20 minutes. They have all the air power they need, even if they didn't use nuclear. They have 2 options for genocide: either glass or burnt. They have both those options. They can either nuclearize and just wipe out everything and turn it into just a big pile of glass, or they can bomb it like crazy and it just be a smoking cigarette
I'm
tray.
sure there's a very lovely Irish lady named Jen O'Side. I'm sure there is one. They can just get her to visit. It'll be fine.
Is that against TOS? That word?
I have no idea. But Jennifer O'Side, everyone's favorite Irish lady, can go pay a visit, and it will be lovely.
I don't think genocide's against TOS. I mean, how many times have I used the R word tonight?
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's a TOS thing. I just thought it was funny that genocide does kind of sound like a nice.
That's a freedom we have that other channels don't, because they monetize and they're worried about getting money. And if you use the R word, you don't get any money, but we don't get money. We don't care. Use the R word. Yay.
I'm gonna pull this one out of my pocket, but Dr. Phil's been on a bit of a roll in terms of some of his interviews lately, but one of the most interesting ones was with the son of one of the Hamas leaders. Now, do I trust this guy and everything? No, I don't doubt he has his own mission on what he's doing. But the entire time he's talking to these activists, and you can tell that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about at all. And they're arguing with him about what his life has been like. You know, it's really what it is. They know better than him what his story is about. They have some black dude in the audience, and they all have these stupid scarves on. And all of a sudden, they're more Muslim than this guy. And I'm like, this is the left. They know better than everybody else about what they're talking about, including...
That's been most of my arguments on Twitter with people, is they tell me what I'm thinking. And I specifically reply back to them, look, Kreskin, you don't know me, or I'll call them Professor X. You know, you can't see in my mind. You don't know what I'm thinking. You know, when in my bio, I specifically say centrist. I was talking to somebody today and they called me a Trump supporter. Now, am I going to vote for Trump? Probably. I'm either going to vote for Trump or I'm going to vote for nobody. But I'm not particularly a Trump supporter. I just like the policies. It's not him that I'm supporting. It's what he's going to do, which I think is good for America. So in that case, that's my personal opinion. But they told me I was a Trump supporter like they knew.
See, if I was in America, I would just write afuera as a writing candidate.
Yeah, afuera.
Afuera.
Oh, we need so much more of that.
Yeah. Just vacate all the government positions. It'll be fine.
That's something Shapiro said. If he ever was a president, that's one of the first things he'd do is get rid of Department of Energy and the Department of Education. He said that both of them are gone. He says, he said specifically, American people wouldn't like me if they got me as a president because I would start getting rid of government agencies. And I was thinking to myself, that's exactly what Malay is doing, and everyone loves him. So,
would he be allowed to? Would there be enough bureaucracy to stop him from just doing it? Even if he genuinely wanted to.
If he had all three parts of the government, he can pretty much do whatever he wants as long as it's not unconstitutional. That's the only lay of the land that you have to get past. And firing or closing a government agency, that's saving money. It's easy to get rid of a government agency.
But what I'm saying is the people who in those departments, would they like the people that run those departments who benefit from those departments existing, could they put up enough roadblocks in his way that he just couldn't get it done?
If he had the Senate behind him, if he had Congress, Senate, the House, if he had and him, there's nothing that could stop them. It's the only thing that could stop them is Constitution. After that, they could sue, but
okay, so
be a waste of time.
He basically need to have his party be in all three.
Yeah, he would have to have Congress, which would be the House of Representatives and the Senate, and he would need to have him. All three of them would have to agree, and if they did, the only thing that could stop him is SCOTUS in the Constitution.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any way all three would agree.
Well, you never know, because I mean, there's a good chance. If you look at the numbers, there's a good chance. Did you know that the latest polls put Trump ahead? If you were to run the presidential run today, he wins the Electoral College 313 points. He needs 270. That's how far ahead he is in all the polls.
Yeah, but you got to remember that Biden is
we already have the House. All we would need is the Senate, and the Senate's pretty close. So it wouldn't take much for him to get all three components.
Yeah, I mean, I would be in favor of just saying IRS gone.
I don't know if he could do the IRS. I don't know how that would work, but that would probably run into the Constitution. I don't think SCOTUS will let him do that. It's the lower ones that wouldn't stand a chance, but I don't think he could do the FBI or the IRS or the NSA or any of the big three names. You know, I don't think that would ever. I don't think SCOTUS will let him do it.
No.
Yeah, but the little ones would go by the way. I'm sure Department of Education would go instantly.
Yeah.
So anyway, and yeah, so that was 1864 and Attack. That's what those two were for.
It looks like something is pushing us towards World War III, and I'm just like, I feel like we should pull what you guys used to pull, Hammer, and just cut ourselves off for a while and be like, listen, we got to fix our shit before we can fix everybody else's shit, and maybe you should work on fixing your own shit for a little bit, and you know, keep encouraging each other while we fix our shit, because I don't want to engage in another one of those.
You're talking Trump's platform. He is Make America Great Again. Don't worry about Gaza. Don't worry about Ukraine. Don't worry about any of that shit. Take care of us first. That's
absolutely
his platform. So if you were here, you'd vote for Trump, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would because
I'd vote for him if I had a vote.
Like,
I'm building a coalition. This is awesome.
they can question my intelligence and my history of education as much as they want, but like, I'm just seeing so much more authoritarianism from their side than anybody else. And I don't know if they know this, but there's a lot of people that you back me up into a corner. That's when you get nasty from me. I'm agreeable up until that point.
Yeah, they could get rid of the ATF, Frosted says in chat. You're absolutely right there. They could definitely get rid of that. And Cannibalistic says in Rumble, hail Trump. Yikes. All right. It's 12 after. I'm sure people are hungry and want to get out of here. So I'm going to play a random in excess song. No, I'm actually going to play the one you voted for. That's fine. Sometimes.
No bitterness.
My a tendency towards watching everything burn, sometimes it gets through. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember, the meeting is live every evening. Let me turn this down a little bit. That's a little high. Including weekends with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. We had a lot of fun today on Rumble. That stream will start generally about half an hour before YouTube. I think it actually started like 45 minutes before YouTube tonight. And you were actually there like 5 after. We could have started an hour before.
Yeah.
We will be back next Wednesday, however, at 9 p.m. as usual. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
Afuera.